Hello, welcome to Newsflash Africa, the best place to get Africa-related content. In today's news.
On Thursday, a federal judge ordered the State Security Service to release Omoyele Sowore, the Sahara Reporters publisher, within 24 hours. Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu gave the order following the agency's disobedience to court orders to release them. The Federal High Court had ordered the immediate release of Mr. Sowore and Bakare from prison on October 21st. After Thursday's order, the judge adjourned to Friday for lawyers in the matter to update the court on the compliance or lack of it. On Thursday night, the SSS released Mr. Sowore 124 days after he was first arrested in Lagos. Mr. Bakare, an activist who was arrested and charged alongside Mr. Sowore, was also freed on bail Thursday night. Mr. Showore's lawyer Femi Falana, while confirming the development, said the SSS also paid 100,000 naira to Mr. Sowore as ordered by Justice Ojukwu. With this development, the lawyers were expected to appear before the judge and report to the SSS the compliance of the order of the court. At the resumed hearing on Friday, the SSS lawyer Hassan Liman informed the court that the security agency had already complied with the order of the court. The lawyer also asked for an adjournment to February 11th, 12th and 13th to enable the lawyers in the case to respond to the application filed. On his part, the defendant's lawyer, Mr. Falana, confirmed to the court that his clients were released on Thursday night. My lord, at about 5 o'clock yesterday, I received a call from my respected colleague to send our lawyers to receive our clients, he said. I'm happy to tell you that our clients were released and 100,000 costs were also paid. On the account of this and on behalf of our defendants, we wish to express our profound appreciation for your leadership and for standing up for the integrity and for standing up for the rule of law in Nigeria. I also thank my colleague for impressing it on their clients to obey the court order. I hope my learned friend will allow the defendants to get their freedom notwithstanding the charges, he told the court. Prior to this, Justice Ojukwu commended the SS for obeying the court's order. It is obvious that the DSS has demonstrated its commitment to the rule of law, the judge said. No one is above the law. The DSS has earned the respect of Nigerians for this, the judge said. The judge then adjourned to February 11, 12 and 13 for definite hearing. As everyone was trying to leave the courtroom, at least 15 armed officers of the SS who had laid ambush for the defendants made their way towards Mr. Sowore and his co-accused. The court experienced a commotion as the officers cocked their guns, scaring people away. Mr. Sowore and Bakare resisted being rearrested and moved back into the courtroom to seek refuge. This led to the disruption of the court sitting as Justice Ojukwu hurriedly retired to her chambers while the court registrars, lawyers and journalists dispersed for safety. While addressing some journalists in the courtroom, Mr. Sowore accused the SSS of trying to kill him after his release. The publisher said that the SSS has shown they had no respect for the rule of law, the court and the citizens. Mr. Falana was visibly angry and cautioned the SSS not to rearrest his clients in the court premises. The rights lawyer then insisted that if the defendants must follow them, he must go in his car. Mr. Sowore and his co-accused later joined Mr. Falana in his car and were conveyed to the SSS office with security operatives escorting them. As at the time of filing this report, the SSS is yet to release any information on why they rearrested the newspaper publisher. The two accused persons are facing 7 counts charge of treasonable felony, fraud, cyberstalking and insulting President Muhammadu Buhari. Mr. Sowore and Bakare were arrested for initiating the revolutionary protest calling for the good governance and accountability. They pleaded not guilty to the charges when they were arraigned on September 30th. This is very, very sad and very ironic because after the judge, the so-called judge, finished praising the SSS, telling them that them releasing Sowore has shown their commitment to the rule of law, their immediate actions totally showed that they had absolute zero respect for the laws of this land. We are truly living in interesting times under this new Buhari regime. Never have we seen something like this ever happen. That gunmen will enter a courtroom while in session just to capture not a governor that has stolen funds, not an actual Boko Haram terrorist, but a person that was trying to hold the government accountable to the people that voted them in. This goes to show what a joke our country is. This goes to show what a joke our judiciary system is. This is the lowest of low that the country can truly go, to show absolute zero regard for our justice system. And mind you, when this happens once, it has set a precedent. This gives the government an excuse to do such a thing again in the future. Nothing stops them. Let's be honest now, what truly stops this president from going from a third term? Because there is absolute zero regard for the judiciary right now. Who is going to hold him accountable? Because the judiciary won't, the legislative won't, who will? Depending on anybody's perspective, they can either see this whole situation as a free action movie that is being played out in our country, or it's just a free comedy show, because this is what they have turned our whole judiciary system into. It's just a comedy. And the most painful part of all this is that as we Nigerians are seeing this, we are slowly getting used to this. So if something like this occurs again in the future, we have started to normalize it slowly. We'll start getting used to this. We will start seeing things like this occurring and nobody will be held to account. Unless we wake up, things will continue to go on like this. Today is indeed a sad day. Well, those are my thoughts on the matter. Please do join me on future videos.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, drop a comment below, and also subscribe to be notified of future content.